Hi YouTube. So I'm looking at Peter Lanza, and there really isn't a lot out about him. I kind of find that very interesting, really mainly because he had such a high alimony payment to make. I also find it interesting that Nancy Lanza is the go-to, and Peter is still quiet. Gag orders might be in place, but there's certain areas that you can talk about. Obviously, Noah Posner's mom's a pro at it, so he could just take tips from her and still at least say a couple words. But I guess that's not going to happen. This is a little clip of the day that Peter Lanza found out his son allegedly killed 20 young children and 6 adults as well as Nancy.
Blitzer, weekday afternoons at 4 Eastern on CNN.
Peter Lanza's home is less than an hour away from where his son Adam opened fire at Sandy Hook Elementary School. But a person who knows him says he hadn't had any communication with his son in about 2 years when Adam cut his father out of his life about the time the elder Lanza remarried. Until then, Peter Lanza, an executive with GE, seen in this LinkedIn photo, had weekly visits with Adam, according to the same source who told us Lanza hadn't lived in the Newtown house since 2001, 8 years before his divorce with ex-wife Nancy was finalized. In the hours after the shooting, a reporter for the Stanford Advocate, who was outside Peter Lanza's house, told CNN's Wolf Blitzer that Lanza was apparently unaware of his son's involvement in the shooting.
I said, we've received a report that somebody at this address is connected to the shooting in Newtown. And his face just went from, he'd been this very polite stranger who was making pleasantries with me, and he went from that to sort of shock, and then just this horrified look, and essentially declined comment, rolled up his window, and went inside his house.
So we've got Peter Lanza that lives an hour away, just 1 hour. And the person that breaks the news to him is a reporter. Even though this is the age of technology and someone should have been on the phone or a neighbor should have been out there, nothing. A news reporter's telling him that? I found that really interesting. Strange that they don't pan out and give a neighborhood view and try and interview neighbors to the degree they did Nancy to find out anything they could about Peter as well. But this guy's staying low.
Since then, he released a statement expressing condolences for victims' families and friends, adding, "We are in a state of disbelief and trying to find whatever answers we can. We, too, are asking why." Peter Lanza's sister-in-law told reporters both Lanza and his ex-wife were committed to their kids' welfare.
They were the type of parents, even when they were married, as well as being separated, if the kids had a need, they would definitely feel it.
Court documents show few hints of an acrimonious divorce and indicate a comfortable lifestyle. Irreconcilable differences were cited as the reason for the divorce, finalized when Adam was 17. Alimony was set for this year at $289,000.
I know Peter Lanza, well, it's rumored anyway that he makes about $1 million a year. This is still a very, very steep alimony payment, and you can see underneath the highlighted area, it only goes up. That combined with Adam's medical expenses, his college and graduate expenses, and a car, boy, he's gaining a lot with Adam and Nancy out of the picture. Not saying that Peter Lanza is involved. I'm just more suspicious as to why nobody's reporting saying anything from him, why he hasn't said anything. And last I heard, he packed his bags up with his wife and hit the road. So I'm just really interested in this guy and why he's allowed no accountability for himself in the place that he played in this alleged event.
Those documents also show Peter Lanza would pay for his son's college and graduate school, medical insurance, and provide a car for him.
Now, Peter Lanza was questioned by investigators as they searched for a motive. He said in a statement after the shooting that he had cooperated fully with law enforcement. and will continue to do so.
Yes, he will continue to do so because now he's got a whole lot more money. That's number one. Did you catch earlier in the video where they say he hadn't lived in the home since 2001? So while the fact that their divorce was final in 2009, he hadn't lived there since 2001. I mean, that's a long time. So his entire relationship with Adam is probably pretty questionable. And the last point that I'm driving home is maybe the reason why the police and everybody else weren't swarming Peter Lanza's home to tell him the news is because Peter was supposed to be dead, remember? So let me know what you guys think. Thanks.